see that lake right there behind me? The large body of water? There's a lake monster in it. Don't ask me how I know. I just do. Alright, I saw it yesterday. It poked its tiny little neck out of the water, about this high. That's how I know it's there. So, I'm Daniel Mercer, and I've set up this documentary to capture evidence of the lake monster. If I succeed, I'll go down in history as the man who discovered the Lake Miss Monster. Alright, let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, so obviously the lake monster saw the stick, but doesn't want to make its presence known. Not yet. Classic lake monster behavior. Day 2. The lake is calm today. Too calm. Which is normal actually, but still suspicious. As you can see, the lake contains water. Water is the lake monster's natural habitat. If you listen carefully, you can hear absolutely nothing. That means it's nearby. That distant bird noise, that's the call of distress, or a normal bird. Hard to say. Day 3. I haven't seen the lake monster once today, which means it's hiding. Classic lake monster behavior. I witnessed a ripple today. It was very small and just off the shore at the edge of the cabin's property, but I didn't manage to film it because I happened to just glance away from my camera and caught the tail end of it. And, well, I can't really be sure what really caused it, but I'm pretty sure it was the lake monster. Today I've decided to enter the monster's domain in my quest to find it. The water is cold, very, very cold. As you can see, I sleep with my toes pointed toward the lake. The metatarsal muscles are very sensitive to water vibrations. If the lake monster approaches while I'm asleep, my toes will know, which means I will know, and I can then film the beast. I suppose I could just leave a camera filming the lake overnight, but the toes do work. Here are my notes on the lake monster so far. This is a forensic sketch of the lake monster based on my dream. This is a map of the lake. This is where I last saw it, in my sleep. This is a blank page, to be used for future forensic evidence of the lake monster. Today I'm going to hunt the lake monster. The water was too cold again, so I didn't hunt. I'm thinking I won't attempt to hunt the beast at all. You know, I'm risking my life being here. Not just because of the lake monster, but because this isn't even my cabin. I think the owners are seasonal visitors, so they haven't been around since I've been here, and they just happen to leave the front door unlocked, so I could get fined or arrested. Perhaps even injured in prison. Or worse. I enjoy the occasional reading session. Literature offers peace and quietude of the mind, as well as depth and rumination on the human condition, which can be quite handy in times such as these. I didn't film the lake today. I baked all day. Bread, pasta, Linzer tarts. Totally forgot about the lake monster. My entire theory of the lake monster is based on a dream I had when I was, let's say, chemically imaginative. The conscious mind forgets, but the subconscious remembers. It told me the lake monster is 12 feet tall. Or was it 12 inches? The dream gets blurry. Some say dreams aren't evidence, but have those people ever dreamed of a lake monster? No? Exactly. People say the lake monster doesn't exist, but people also said Pluto was a planet, and look how that turned out. Think about it this way. If the lake monster isn't in this lake, then why is there a lake here? I was unsuccessful. No lake monster footage. Perhaps future lake monster seekers will have better luck. I hope my findings help them. All of them. Did you hear that? That wasn't lake monster activity. I think it was a Sasquatch. I'll investigate. My name is Daniel Mercer. I am currently investigating reports of a Sasquatch in this area. I filed the reports. This open area would allow for rapid movement, if necessary. Dense foliage, ideal for concealment. Clear sign of activity. Possible vocalization. Movement. My reflection. But a Sasquatch could hide in here. In fact, this is my car. Nothing. I've been meaning to get gas. I find that maintaining organization improves clarity of thought during Sasquatch investigations. Narrow corridors increase the likelihood of close-range encounters. Vertical traversal is possible in this environment. This is my apartment, the last place I haven't looked yet. Ergo, the Sasquatch must be here. If there wasn't a Sasquatch here, there wouldn't be this much space available. You see, you don't just see a Sasquatch, you notice the conditions that allow one to exist. Aha! I left my bedroom door open, but that doesn't mean the Sasquatch isn't inside. Nothing. Which means there's only one place left to look. Nothing. But that means... Aha! The Sasquatch must have snuck out of my apartment while I was investigating my bedroom. Classic Sasquatch behavior. I will retrace my steps. It pushed me. You see that door? Apartment 2J? The man who lives there is not from this time period. Don't ask me how I know. I just do. My name is Daniel Mercer, and I've set up this investigation in order to prove that my neighbor is a time traveler. If I succeed, I will go down in history as the man who discovered a time traveler who is my neighbor. So this is what I've discovered so far. He leaves for work at exactly 8 o'clock a.m. every day, not 8:01, not 7:59, which suggests prior knowledge of time. Also, just earlier today, I heard him say, "See you tomorrow," inside his apartment, either to his wife or his girlfriend or his roommate, or perhaps even his cat, if he has one. But here's the thing. How does he know there will be a tomorrow? Okay, I'm now attempting a stakeout. Today I attempted the direct approach and simply asked my neighbor if he is a time traveler. He denied it, which is exactly what a time traveler would do if he didn't want anyone knowing he was a time traveler. He also closed and both locked and latched his front door after our interaction, which is exactly what a time traveler would do prior to time traveling if he did not wish to be witnessed time traveling. I knocked on his door again earlier today. No answer, which means he may not have been there yet. I enjoy the occasional Crash Bandicoot session during investigations. Interestingly, Crash Bandicoot has nothing to do with time travel. As you can see, time is not linear. It's more of a situation of sorts. And a rather puzzling one at that. Yesterday I saw him carrying groceries before he entered the building, which suggests he already had them before he got them. Or perhaps he merely went grocery shopping, as time travelers need groceries just like the rest of us. Regardless, classic time traveler behavior. This package wasn't outside my apartment before, which means someone must have placed it there recently, after I began my investigation, which means he knows. Time traveler confirmed. Hear that? My smoke detector doesn't normally do that. I think it's trying to communicate with me. If you wait long enough, you'll hear it again. Ah. Hi, I'm Daniel Mercer. And I believe my smoke detector is trying to communicate with me. I'm not sure what it's attempting to say exactly, but I believe it's trying to be annoying enough to get my attention. For what purpose, I can only speculate. I've begun documenting the frequency and spacing of the beeps. Short, pause, short. That's not random. That's structure. One beep equals A. No, that's too obvious. It wouldn't be that obvious. I believe I've cracked it. It's not Morse code like I first and second suspected. It's more advanced than that. See? That was a warning. This is what it's trying to say. I am going to attempt first contact. Message received. Tone noted. Yes, of course I live here. I have taken up meditation to keep my mind off the beeps. It has not been effective. I made a difficult decision. I have silenced the smoke detector. For now. It stopped beeping immediately, which means it may be upset it was silenced. I don't think removing the battery was a good idea. I don't think it actually disabled it. In fact, I think it adapted, evolved. There are multiple units now. I believe I am outnumbered, and that they are plotting something. It is no longer safe to be here. Ergo, I must take my permanent leave. Should anybody else happen upon this place in the future, I hope they are pure of both heart and soul so that they are treated well by this perturbed, potentially nefarious company. I bid thee adieu. My name is Daniel Mercer. I am currently investigating a signal. It does not occur when directly observed. I discovered this unintentionally. There. It has stopped. It resumes when not directly documented. I am now intentionally misaligning the camera. Immediate increase. Gone. Reflective surfaces complicate signal detection. There it is again. Gone again. But it appears to have adapted. In fact, it might be reacting to me. Interesting thing about the signal. It cannot be detected via conventional means. This is encouraging. I am reducing direct observation to encourage manifestation. Significant increase. I will not look at it. This is the strongest it has been. It prefers when I am not visible either. Activity has decreased. Yes. I will now remove myself entirely from the observational field. Significant increase. It is now gone. Consistent. This is effective. No. Improved framing reduces signal activity. This is optimal. It is extremely active. I am now surrounded by the signal. However, I cannot document it. This is the strongest evidence I have obtained. Further observation would compromise results. I will now conclude the investigation without recording it to preserve its integrity. Unprecedented.